Hi everybody, John Cena here and welcome to the second semi-final of the FunkQuest Tag Team Challenge, and we have two more teams of funksters trying to make it through to the final to see who's going to play Anne and Leanna, who were through following last Friday's results show. And if you've never seen the show before, where have you been? What are you doing? The show is very simple, and what we would do is we'll look to find funk, which is things we didn't know before we spent 20 minutes hanging about with people that we possibly wouldn't have already spoke to under normal circumstances. And we do that by asking slightly oddball questions. The rules are very simple. You get a minute to answer the question. No swearing, no politics, no religion. Apart from that, say what you want. One of these teams will go through to the grand final, and you can decide who that is. You've got to look for the biggest insight, thought, idea, suggestion, something that you didn't know, book you're going to read, YouTube channel you're going to watch. We don't know what it is. You've got to decide what it is, and I will tell you how to vote at the end. So with that said, head funkster Barb, tell us who's in your team.
Today I have Phil Palucha. Am I saying your name right?
You are indeed.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, he is with Billionaires and Boxers, and we had him on our podcast a few weeks ago, and I just had a blast. He was teaching us about how to connect with people, and I'm like, look, I learned. Hey, Phil, you ought to connect with FunkQuest. And so here we are.
Here we are. And Phil, this is your FunkQuest debut, right?
It is indeed, yeah. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Excellent. Good stuff. And Lisa, tell us who's in your team.
Yes, I have my G-Master, that's what I call her, Ginger Johnson. She is an expert connector as well and has given me some of the best connections, just has that passion for bringing great people together. She introduced me to you, Jonathan. That's how I came.
That's correct, yeah.
So yeah. There you go, testament right there. Great people.
There you go. This is good. This is going to be a good episode. I'm sure this is going to be enough quality in here for the final. So because Phil, this is his debut, what I thought was that Lisa, we'd ask your team to go first, and if you've got a musical instrument or something that makes a noise, if you think you can answer this question, you've got to make that noise and you get the question. So with that said, Lisa, you pick the icon.
Oh, I've got to go with the lion because that is my tattoo.
Lion.
After the roar of the
British
lion.
lion. Yeah, British lion. Yeah, it is, yeah. Who comes when you call?
She's looking at me like.
Right, no, and yeah, Ginger, are you answering? Is that the answer?
Yeah.
Your answer, right? Okay.
I'll answer my dogs.
Right, how do you call them?
So it depends. That's always the right answer, right? I can whistle. I can make a squeaking sound. And actually, unwrapping something from plastic, they think it's food, so that gets them every single time.
Pavlovian dog response. Plastic packaging. Who knew?
The dogs did. There's something in there.
That might be for us.
Exactly.
Right, so hopefully Phil's got the hang of it. We're going to call you, Barb and Phil, we're going to call you the pink team, and we're going to call Lisa and Ginger the orange team, just so people know. Right, Bob, pick an icon.
The top line?
Yeah, top line.
Yeah, okay, all right. I want the dessert. I don't know what the dessert is. Strawberry cake. Okay.
Strawberry cake, yeah. Strawberry cake.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Can I answer this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about this, and this has become like the question that I keep asking other people, and I love the answers. So I think that the usual suspects would probably come. I like to think that my husband would be there. I think my kids and probably parents would show up, and there would be that one lady in the back. There'd be that one like artificially redheaded lady banging a tambourine, and it would be the first time in 16 years that she was delighted to say that she was my mother-in-law.
I'm just going to say, I mean, is she likely to be listening, your mother-in-law?
No.
No.
Totally different kind of funeral. No, she's not likely to be watching. I think she is probably likely to be watching newspapers for my obituary, so I think it's relevant. But I don't think she's likely to be watching.
Well, I don't want to go too deep, but somebody once said, if you're having to pull the knives out your back, then you're doing your job properly.
Yeah.
Ooh, good.
Because you're upsetting people. Lisa, question 2.
I'm on an animal kick. I want to do the elephants.
The elephants. Yeah, good. Yeah, go ahead.
I I loved my first car. It was this little white neon that had a sunroof, and I thought I was like so cool driving with this like, you hit the button, and it was almost like slow-mo that the sunroof came back. And I'll tell you, all the stress of the world like went right out that sunroof. Like, it's amazing what sunshine and fresh air and that life that can give us. Not that I had all this crazy stress when I was 16, 15, but you could drive when you're 15 in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah, in Canada you have to be
40.
17, and there's like
right? That's a tractor.
levels of the, you can't go on the main highway until you pass the test. Oh no, back roads of Pennsylvania, it's like back roads, highway, drive wherever you want.
No, forget all that. I want to know, right, first of all, what music did you have and how did you play it? Cassette, CD, or what?
It was like, it was CD.
Yeah.
So you can't let those things scratch.
Yeah.
And I was like hip hop,
Good.
like, seat back, like doing one of these things.
Is there a back seat to that thing?
There was a back seat to it, which was always filled with people. I was like the party ride. Like, we cranked the music.
White neon.
Roof.
Did you know any of the people in the back seat?
I did.
Not you personally, but that's pretty, hip-hop music, booming music, very good. Good answer. Barb, question 2.
Let's take the chessboard.
Chessboard. Who's been closest to the North Pole out of you two? How far is Liverpool from the North Pole?
It feels pretty close. Especially during December. You know what? The funny thing is, I'm someone who follows the sun. Like, I can't deal with cold, which is a really weird thing to say because it's cold here quite a lot. But like for at least 4 or 5 years, like I would travel to South Africa every time it was winter here.
Nice.
And I'd be doing that right now if coronavirus hadn't messed up my plans. Thank you, coronavirus. But so I'm actually going to experience winter for the first time in like 4 or 5 years, and I'm genuinely having a bit of social anxiety about it. Like, I'm not kidding. It's not even that cold yet. I mean, it's about 11 degrees, and I'm already wearing a snud, hood, and a hat every time I go out. Like, a lot of people don't know this about me. Like, when I was living and working in the UK in an office, I'd wear long johns under my suit because I just couldn't handle the cold. Like, I am one of those people. So, yeah, I can't do it. I'm walking past people who are still wearing T-shirts, I call them the winter deniers. Like, they still think it's summer. It's like, I'm going to wear a T-shirt anyway. Like, I'm holding on to it.
Or people that have shorts.
Yeah, I never understand those people. It's the people that wear a jacket and shorts. It's like, it's cold on the top of your body, but you forgot by the time you put pants on.
Question 3.
I'm going to stay with the theme, the frog.
The frog. Which instrument do you wish you could play and not... Oh, Ginger's going to answer. Right.
I wish I could fire up keys on a piano to play the piano because they're everywhere. Well, if you can get out and about. I remember growing up, there's one in the lobby, there's one in the classrooms, there's one in the doctor's office, and now they're in the airports and everything like that. Like, that'd be amazing. The accordion is a close second because that's pretty remarkable. There's a lot more hand-eye, but and that would be lighter weight. Anyway, I'll stick with piano. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah.
You just walk in and just knock out a
tune.
tune.
Like, oh, look, there it is.
There is. Great. I don't know if there's near you, Phil, but there is, or used to be, in Sheffield Midland Station, a piano that anybody could just play.
Yeah, we still do that. They're all over Liverpool, actually.
Nice.
And the last time I went to pick somebody up, it was kind of this time of year, so it was dark, freezing cold, and a guy's playing We Have All the Time in the World on the piano.
If you can play something more than chopsticks, you're on it.
Question 3, Barb.
Strawberries.
Right, you got 60 seconds, either Phil or Barb, to come up with the many landmarks that you've been to.
Sorry, Phil. I think that you probably have more. Go ahead. Make a noise with your mouth.
Yeah.
So I've done Great Wall of China. What do they call it? The Forbidden Empire in China. Eiffel Tower, Buckingham Palace, all the London ones, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Been to Parliament in South Africa. Been to Robben Island, where they had Nelson Mandela. Been up Table Mountain. Pyramids. Went to the pyramids. Full of Ra.
Yeah.
A lot of places in Spain, like the Matador bull ring thing. Went to the chasing of the bulls. That was pretty cool. Famous landmarks like football stadiums are famous landmarks. We're gonna need much longer than a minute if I start rattling off soccer stadiums.
Question 4, Lisa.
Okay, well, let's go with the piano since we were just talking about
No
it.
piano. Yeah,
Good choice, LP.
good choice. When was the last time you drank a pint of milk?
I believe that I am lactose intolerant, and much of the world is lactose intolerant. So milk and me do not get along. Cashew milk, almond milk, that is the road that I go. And recently I've stopped drinking coffee, which might be a good thing because I have crazy high energy, but my nutritionist told me it messes up your digestion in your gut. So you have coffee with the milk, with the sugar. It's like so delicious, but a digestive nightmare. So
What are you drinking instead of coffee? And how did you wean yourself off it?
all sorts of fancy, beautiful. I need to get like a little teapot with the, finger
Nice.
out, maybe the pinky out, but all sorts of delicious tea, right, has
Nice.
been. And I thought that I would really be bagged by not. I mean, I lived on coffee and milk for a long time.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd be like just, not even able to get out of bed. And I actually have more energy since I cut it out. It's a myth that we need that caffeine, right? But
How
last
long did it take you to kind of kick the crave? Because it's a drug, right? It's a...
yeah.
How
I'm
long
going
did it
on
take
week
you?
3. I'm going on week 3 of no
Week
coffee.
3.
And I feel pretty darn good, I'll tell you. So that's a little test.
I often thought
My
about it,
drinking a
'cause
lot of milk would have been when I was a kid, for sure.
Yeah.
Like chocolate milk, down in it like water, right, as a kid. But,
Yeah.
yeah, no coffee. Try it.
Good. Question 4, and it's Barb, I think. Yeah.
Okay, nervous girl.
The girl what looks like she's going to... Either of you. Barb or
Oh.
Phil.
Okay.
Who's going? Right, go on
I'm
then.
a terrible swimmer, and I blame my swimming lessons, actually. We lived in a small where you would go in your skivvies at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was freezing. And for some reason, the public pool was underneath all these huge trees. Why do we shade public pools? Can't figure it out. So the water was like Phil's version of 11 degrees. It was like that warm, and you would hop in, and then they'd tell you to stick your face in. And I just thought, are you kidding me? And when we got to the part with the diving board, I guess this is all supposed to make me more acclimated to the water. I remember got out to the edge of the diving board, and the teacher's in the water. She's like, jump, I'll catch you. I think I was 5 at this time. And I remember thinking, not a chance. Like, look at the pool versus you. But like, statistically speaking, the odds of you being able to catch me, 0. I crawled back. So,
Was it open air pool where you learn to swim?
yeah, it was in a public park.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think they're probably illegal now in this country, aren't they?
it probably is. Well,
They're used as bins.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, yeah they are.
yes.
But
All
like
the
your own car,
discovery.
you got a car that you want to dispose of.
Yeah, a giant wishing well, or when the teenagers have stole a wheelie bin and need somewhere to put it at the end of the night,
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where I
so-
learned to swim.
Supermarket trolleys. Lisa. Oh, Ginger's going to answer.
The best thing about life is that we are able to be grateful every single day for everything we still have. There will always be more that we have, are capable of, and I'm grateful that I still live in a free country, warts and all, and I can still do what I want and be with who I want, and like look out my window and there's no bars on it. Can go
True.
for a walk. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm grateful. No,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, there swearing was allowed because that's not politics.
And Barb, question 5.
The peaceful mountain scene.
Mountain scene.
Just
Yeah.
once for the last question. Yeah.
Can I take this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Make
Do
mess.
it. Yeah.
The fact that I have them. Especially when I'm living in the UK, right? And they're probably listening to this, so if they are, I'm really sorry. I do like you, but you irritate me. I'll tell you what I don't like and what irritates me about my neighbors is that when you've lived in a country like South Africa, like the States, for example, where there's far more space, like you realize that we don't need to live as on top of each other as we do here in the UK. And it's like, it's so unnecessary to the point where like you question having time with your spouse in case your neighbors can hear you. And like, it's just more things that you have to factor in. And it's like, I'm watching TV and I'll be chanting and shouting at the football. And my wife's like, shh, the neighbors. And then I'll turn the TV down and hear them shouting instead.
Well, I'm gonna butt in because I know we're at the end of the time. But when it was World Cup, Russia 2 years ago.
Yeah, Russia.
Our next door neighbour is a elderly lady, and next door but one is a granddaughter and her husband, partner, or whatever. Right. So they're around at next door neighbours watching England versus who did we play at last World Cup? Not Croatia, with the other one, right?
Yeah, I thought it was Croatia.
Anyway, so they're watching it on standard TV. We're watching it on BBC iPlayer, which is piped through the internet, and we're about 9 seconds behind them. And so they're all going, "Oh!" And we're thinking, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Oh, that's so annoying. Well, we got to see which ones of our neighbors in the summer are pro the royal family and which ones aren't, because we did this whole clap for the NHS thing, didn't we?
Yeah, we did,
So we'd all go outside our house and we'd kind of applaud for a few minutes and then we'd all go back inside. Except there was two families that would insist on singing the national anthem afterwards, like, God save. And then half the people in the street were like, no, I'm good. And just go back inside. So it's like, I'll applaud the NHS, but then I want to go inside. And then, yeah, it was, you got to learn a lot about your neighbors that we didn't already know, put it that way.
True. So, listeners, watchers, viewers, audience, one of these teams is going through to the final. And we're interested in which thoughts, ideas or suggestions were the biggest ones for you. And hopefully you got something out of it. So if you want to vote for Barb and Phil, the pink team, leave a comment on this blog post. It must be on this blog post. It must be on funkythinkers.com. Do not leave a comment on YouTube or Spreaker or iHeartRadio or any of those other platforms because it won't count. You must leave a comment on funkythinkers.com. And if you want to vote for Lisa and Ginger, the orange team, you've got to say that that's the case also. And we'll get one of you teams back in the final. So, Barb, how do we contact you and find out more about you?
Oh, no, I've got to spell my name again. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, you can find me on my website if you can figure out my name. It's www.barbarabrandline.com. I'm pretty sure it's written somewhere in this blog. You can find me on all the usual social places, and you can hear me on the Deciding Factor podcast.
Excellent. Phil, how can we contact you and find out more about you and your neighbours?
Yeah, my neighbors, yeah. Neighbors will be on some register somewhere, but if you want to get in touch with me, check out my website, billionairesinboxers.com. I also have a very unusual surname, so if you go to Google and type in Phil Pelucha, which is Pelucha, I pretty much own that prime digital real estate, so come check me out and say hey.
Excellent. Lisa, are you the only Lisa Pizik in the world? Did we work that out?
Yes, I am, which is great. So you search my name, you'll find lisapisic.com, my website, Instagram. The Lisa Pizik Show is my podcast. I have a blog, weekly newsletter that goes out, so I'm constantly sharing all sorts of good insights each week. But if you Google Lisa Pizik, you will find me.
Fantastic. Ginger, how can we contact you and find out more about you?
Well, I have a really common last name. Good thing my first name isn't as common. GingerJohnson.com. That's the epicenter for the place to find me with all the other platforms as usual. Lisa and I also have a weekly show, The Not So Secret Ingredient. And all the good usual suspects we know at YouTube, LinkedIn, tra-la. Thanks.
So, ladies and gents, thank you so much for being on the show, and we will see one of you in the grand final. Thanks so much, and speak soon. Hi, thanks so much for making it to the end of this episode. Did you know that you can play FunkQuest yourself? We call it FQY. You can get going now with a 10% discount coupon that's displayed above my shoulder. Thanks so much, and take care.